Good evening, everyone. My name is Wei Ming. Today, I will be presenting a case of corporate social responsibility failure involving Volkswagen. Volkswagen is a well-known German car manufacturer. However, in 2015, the company was involved in a major ethical scandal called the Dieselgate emission scandal. This case is important because it shows how unethical decisions can seriously affect both the company and society. For the issue explanation, the issues happen when Volkswagen installed special software in its diesel vehicle to cheat emission tests. This software could detect when the car was being tested. During testing, the car would reduce its emissions to meet legal standards. However, in normal driving conditions, the car released much higher level of harmful gas. In simple terms, the company created a system to appear environmentally friendly, but in reality, it was polluting more than allowed. It shows intentional decision, not just a small mistake. For the CSR violations, this case clearly shows several CSR violations. First, Volkswagen violated ethical responsibility because it acted dishonestly. It means the company chose to cheat instead of being truthful. Second, it violated legal responsibility by breaking environmental law. Companies are required to follow regulations, and failing to do so is a serious issue. Third, the company lacked transparency. Transparency means being open and honest. But Volkswagen hide important information from regulators and consumers. Finally, it failed its environmental responsibility because its actions increase pollution and harm public health. For the impact on stakeholders, the scandal had a strong impact on different stakeholders. Customers will move into buying cars that they believe were environmentally friendly. This caused disappointment and loss of trust. Employees also suffer because they had to face public criticism and uncertainty about their jobs. Even though they were not directly responsible, they were affected by the company's action. Governments and regulators lose trust in the company, which make future cooperation more difficult. At the same time, society and the environment will harm due to increased air pollution, which can affect people's health. For the impact on the company, Volkswagen also faced serious consequences. Its reputation was badly damaged worldwide. Many people started to see the company as dishonest. The company lost customer trust, which is very difficult to rebuild once it is broken. It also suffered hard financial losses, including billions of dollars in fines and compensation. In addition, Volkswagen faced legal action and investigations in many countries, which further damaged its image. For the ethical lessons, there are several important lessons from this case. First, companies must always act with honesty and integrity because trust is very important in business. Second, CSR is not just a choice but a responsibility that company must follow. Third, this case shows that unethical behavior may give short-term benefits such as saving costs and increasing sales, but it will lead to serious long-term damage. Finally, transparency and accountability are essential because stakeholders expect companies to be open and responsible. For the corrective action, to improve, Volkswagen should take several actions. First, it should strengthen its ethical standards and internal control to prevent similar issues in the future. Second, the company should improve transparency by sharing accurate information with stakeholders. Third, Volkswagen should invest more in environmentally friendly technologies such as electric vehicles to reduce pollution. Finally, the company needs to rebuild trust by communicating honestly and showing real commitment to CSR. For the key difference, this team focused on learning from CSR failure in case of successful CSR practices. Usually, CSR study focus on companies that to do good things. However, this case is different because it focused on what went wrong. By studying failures, we can better understand the consequences of unethical behavior and learn how to avoid similar mistakes in the future. This shows that CSR is not only about doing good action, but also about avoiding harmful and unethical decisions. So for the conclusion, the Volkswagen scandal clearly shows how serious the consequences of CSR failure can be. The company's dishonest action not only damage its reputation, but also affect customers, employees, and the environment. This case reminds us that ethics and responsibility are essential in business. Companies must understand that short-term gains from unethical behavior can lead to long-term loss. Therefore, transparency, honesty, and accountability are key to build trust and achieving sustainable success. That's all for my presentation. Thank you for listening.